So you guys may have heard because the announcements have been rolling out this morning, but we are incredibly excited to announce a partnership with Racingline Performance in the UK.
So I'm going to start bringing them in here.
Don't
It's
you,
going to take a minute
have-
to get them across all of the...
We have Matt and Sam from Racingline.
And I apologize if there are some technical hiccups here. This is our first
Our
collab
first time doing this.
Might as well do it international, global effort as well.
Yeah, but you know, since our acquisition with EMP last fall, we have been seeking partners in this new group of performance companies to build and do something incredible in this industry, to continue to bring innovative, high quality products to the market. And the first person that we thought of that we would want to join was Matt and Sam from Racingline, who we've known over the years, who we've been competitors with, and always had a good, amicable, professional working relationship. Unfortunately, unlike in this industry, it gets contentious so often.
Yeah, that's not always the case. So
we never saw that side of Matt and Sam, and so they were one of the first people I wanted to talk to, and we were able to see eye to eye on things, and we're thrilled to be partners and on the same team with you guys now. So, welcome to the Euro Motor Parts Group, and we're very excited to have you join and be a part of our family.
Thanks so much, Jabard. It's fantastic news for all of us, I think, isn't it? You couldn't have put it better. That I think as we got approached by you guys, just that feeling that we've got two companies here with a very similar set of values and enthusiasm and passion for what we do, we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, thank you.
Same here.
It's great. So we wanted to invite Matt and Sam on the live chat. Hopefully we can do a lot more of this kind of stuff in the future if it makes sense. But we wanted to open up the Q&A for anyone who wanted to ask us any questions about Racingline. If you're more familiar with 034 and you've heard of Racingline or whatever, feel free to ask. And feel free to ask what this means for either company or for both companies. And we do have a pretty good plan on how we're going to move forward together, and a number of exciting initiatives that we've put together. So feel free to ask away any questions, and I'll just, feel free to chime in, Sam or Matt, but I'll state, kind of at the high level is, 034 and Racingline will continue to remain independent companies in the marketplace. We're not going to join into one company. You're not going to change your name. We're not going to change our name. Everything's staying how it is. We will continue to maintain our current products, distribution, everything that you've grown to know and love about both companies will stay the same. Certainly on the back end, underneath the surface, there will be much more collaboration, as they like to say in business, synergies, where we can share in each other's resources, we can share in costs and bring the cost of doing business down. And our engineering teams, our tuning teams, our sales and marketing will all be collaborating behind the scenes to help us both do more of what we're good at. Anything to add to that?
Well, it's such a good fit, isn't it, that we can bring cars from Europe. So obviously they're very different, although they appear the same on the outside. As Nate will tell all the people there, that the US specific vehicles compared to some of the European ones are very, very different. So it means that we can share some resources and, pull vehicles from across the pond then. So it gives us, the best of everything, all the Euro stuff, all the US domestic stuff that you get there. And then we can really cover the market with all different products between the two brands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very exciting. So we have some questions coming in. First question is, does this mean partner development in parts? And I think as we've discussed, there is some exciting ways that we can work together to do engineering and product development. Okay.
No, we're not.
No?
It should be good now.
We will continue to have and maintain our own engineering teams, and we will likely be releasing and engineering, different products from each other. But in some cases, we can collaborate. Certainly, you guys are about to lay your hands on a Mark 8 GTI.
That's right.
Well before we will. So, there's a lot of opportunities for us to collaborate in that way. and even share CAD drawings, scans, engineering data with each other.
I think the easiest way to explain this as well is that Volkswagen Group already do this with their products. If you look at a Audi A3 and then a Volkswagen Golf, especially in Europe, they have a lot of components shared with the back-end design. And then the engineers at the end bring their own touches and their own details to it. And I think that's the way we can really fit together, sort of explain to the guys, that are at home watching this, that behind the scenes, some of the stuff can be shared, but then we still have our own identities going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. And you guys are British, so you're way classier, more elegant than we are here in America.
You got the accents.
Yeah, and so I think that does manifest in the brands somewhat as well. It's really interesting to see, how each brand is so uniquely us. How it's uniquely you guys, and how 034 is very much us. We get to really see how we are manifests in the companies that we have so much influence over as well.
Yeah, I think that's why we've come together, really, is that we're both brands with kind of our own personalities and our own values, and we should never let that change. And I don't think this acquisition will do that, but it's a matter of us developing each side in the directions that we feel our brand should go in. So I don't think that's anything other than a real positive.
That's right. Next question is, Racingline, are there any things you wish you could get in the US that you can't get in the UK?
Sunshine, beaches.
Changs.
No, listen, we're quite lucky here in the UK and Europe in terms of cars. We get pretty much everything that you guys have got in the US, plus an awful lot more. So in terms of development, we do get these cars pretty early. We don't get things like the Jetta GLI, which is a car that we think, because we can't have it, is a very, very cool car. So that's something
you're not missing it.
You're okay.
So we have you guys for help on. No,
well, it's the bastard. It's the bastard child, right? Because at the end of every model build, Volkswagen's like, what do we have left over? Oh, rear axle from this car, engine from this car. It's just a hodgepodge of different, this ECU, that engine.
Yeah.
So it's tough to support.
So we want to.
All right, exactly.
Grass is always greener.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We don't get the Atlas, and that's something we really would like. So put one over us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlas was a US. This is what US consumers probably want build. So it's just for us.
You'd be crazy, right?
Yep.
Well, the good news is you guys can get Kanye West through Instagram. And, you're not missing out. So we have a lot of good things to share with the rest of the world. So, next question is: does this mean Javad is buying a TCR car now? Well, that would be very nice. I think we've been looking for ways to justify doing just that for a long time.
We are the dealer for the TCR cars.
Yes,
so we can more than happily ship you one of those over. No problem at all.
I think there's already been some ideas about at least getting some TCR parts from you guys, because we've always dreamt of those fenders and the hood and some of that stuff.
Well, maybe
even some of the suspension stuff.
A long-term loan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's possible.
At the moment, perhaps you could borrow one.
Oh, we have some good suggestions here. We can trade an Atlas for an RS3 hatch. So
deal.
I think we'll be on the better end of that deal.
Someone is asking, the quality of products are very high on Racingline. I gather the quality level will be kept.
100%. It's what me and Matt live by. It's kind of our philosophy, and it's exactly the same as 034. We do not want to make a single change to the quality of our products unless it's going upwards. So rest assured that will not be changing, and that's very, very clear in this whole process. We do not want to make one negative adjustment to the quality of our parts.
No, it's all about bringing both teams up.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, there would be no reason or benefit. In fact, nobody involved in Racingline 034 at EMP or at Euro Motor Parts Group believes that cutting quality would have any benefit. I understand there's companies out there that are all about slashing quality to make more money. We all believe that you actually make more money when your products are higher quality. Yeah. When you conduct yourself ethically, when you follow laws. You know, that's what we believe. So we don't see the benefit of doing anything less than better. In fact, by entering this partnership, we're both poised to improve our quality even substantially more.
Yeah.
By sharing the best of what each other does. So it only means up. We're not going backwards.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
That comment, whoever sent that in, that's appreciated.
And yeah, no, these are the kind of questions, you know, we've been anticipating.
Yeah, and I think through all this, it was very surprising to me, at least. We seem similar on the surface, but when we dug down into it, our overlap was pretty small. So there's a lot we can help each other and do for each other.
I mean, we're very much, you know, like this, you know, where there's similarities, but where we overlap, there's still plenty of distinction to separate the two companies, which is great. Someone's asking, is it 034 or not 34?
Or not Z4?
Z?
Z.
I think we're gonna stick with 034, but I think the Racingline guys will oblige. Will Racingline's focus be mostly on current platform cars?
In terms of how we go forward, we are always looking to get the next platform. So we've already mentioned the Mark 8 GTI. We've got our first car coming hopefully in 2 weeks' time, which we're really excited about. So we're going to keep on pushing forwards. Perhaps the question is referencing, are we going to look backwards towards older platforms? I think really we have got more than enough to do to keep up with the current platforms and the upcoming future ones that our plans do not include. Sadly, we'd love to, but going back before the Mark 5 platform came out, really.
I mean, in our local market, we have quite a lot more vehicles than you get. So we obviously get Seat and Skoda vehicles that you don't get in the US. So you can imagine when we're developing a product over here, where let's pick the MQB platform. In the US, you do Audi and Volkswagen. We also then have to do Seat and Skoda. So it's like 4 times the problem with everything that we do. Lots to concentrate on there going forward, and lots of exciting stuff with Volkswagen Group. We had a taster of our first electric cars when we did the UK launch 2 weeks ago for the ID3. So I imagine a lot of people are not happy about that, but we're embracing electric cars because at some point they're going to come.
We have no choice.
No, pretty lucky.
We've talked about it here too.
All the sneak previews in the UK of some left-hand drive models, so that was really good.
And we'll be getting one of those as soon as we can. We may, as a bunch of car enthusiasts, not love the idea, but we're going to get all over it and see what we can get out of one. Who knows? It might be a good future.
Yeah, I think you know what we talk about here is the main issue with electrification is that it's not currently performance focused. You know, most people who buy electric cars aren't doing it because of the performance, although that's starting to change in the last year. Yeah. Tesla's certainly really done a good job embracing performance-minded drivers. But yeah, so what we're seeing with the e-Golf, with some of the stuff we've been doing with Jason Camisa, is he's outfitted the car with some of our parts and put big tires on the car, and the thing's really fun to drive. It's very fast, has lots of grip, and it's a very fun dynamic car. So there's a lot of potential, but I think it's going to take tuners like us stepping out and really showing what the potential is.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're sort of getting a good look at the ID3. There are some things that are really cool about it. For example, it's rear-wheel drive. When did we last have a rear-wheel drive platform to play with?
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the battery packs are lying right on the floor, right in the middle of the car, so it's got a wonderful center of gravity, and the polar moments of inertia are going to be pretty low. So, you know, there are some positives that we can try and look at. If we can just wind the power up to a level that will kind of make all of us as keen drivers happy, who knows? You know, maybe this will be a good platform for us all.
That's exciting. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Someone's asking, are Racingline going to be the UK dealer for 034 now? This is something we've discussed. Currently, there is no plan to make Racingline the UK dealer. We have a really good network of dealers already in the UK, including Awesome and Progressive Parts, several others that escape my mind currently, but all are listed on our dealer locator on our website. But we will definitely be exploring ways that Racingline can help us expand our presence in Europe. you know, this is one of the big benefits of this partnership is we each now have a beachhead in the opposing territories
Yeah.
that we'd like to conquer, you know, so to speak. But you know, we can help Racingline be more successful in the U.S. But for us, it's always been tough, right? That our supply chains get stretched as we attempt to resource these distribution efforts in the other side of the world. So we will now have boots on the ground, and by boot I don't mean trunk, I mean like the shoe boots.
Yeah.
But no, so you know, who knows, you know, where that will lead. I think we've agreed that 034 will begin carrying Racingline parts here as a dealer in the U.S. But that's stuff we can talk more about. So we're still kind of forming our overall strategy.
Yeah.
Racingline and 034 are either partnering or one bought the other. I can't tell. So basically, Racingline, from a technical standpoint, has been acquired by Euro Motor Parts Group. Euro Motor Parts Group owns EMP 034 Motorsport and now Racingline. So like I did last fall, I sold my company to Euro Motor Parts Group. Sam and Matt have done the same thing. We don't like to talk about it like an acquisition, though, and that's why we really use the term partnering, because it's, you know, where the reality lies is it's not an acquisition. It is a partnership in the sense that we're now working together and we're both working towards the same goals. It's not, you know, they're not being micromanaged by Euro Motor Parts Group, just like we haven't been. We're fully enabled to do what we need to do to be successful. So, but on paper, from a legal standpoint, it is an acquisition. Right?
It is, but it very much feels like a partnership. And, you know, for us, we're kind of thrilled at how this relationship seems to be panning out. We are being given the freedom to go forward and do what we do best, which is making cars go faster. You know, it's a very, very happy place that I think we're in, and, you know, very much led by the 034 team's experiences there, that we've got the right partners above us to guide us, to help us, to fund us, but to not micromanage us day in, day out, which is kind of the place we want to be. We want to get on with making more cool parts, simple as.
Yeah. And you guys have done a lot of things really well. And I think, you know, the only desire from the group is for you guys to be able to do even more of those things. And you guys are the ones that can make that happen. If we knew how to do it, or we could do it the way you did it, then, you know, we would have, but we can't. So that's why we need the Racingline guys to be a part of the team and do what you guys do best. Yeah. Next question is, will Javad cook Sam and Matt chili?
Oh,
I certainly hope so.
it's part of
I
the
would be
deal.
honored to.
With the current travel restrictions, you may have to mail it over, but we're ready. And
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we'll have to freeze
you know,
dry it.
all of this is not getting to come to the
Yeah.
US, which we both love traveling to, and
Yeah.
we haven't been over for over a year now, have
Yeah.
we? So yeah, it's just a bit sad about it.
Yeah,
but, we
It
can't-
definitely put an interesting dynamic on all this.
Yeah, definitely. You know, travel. It's interesting. You know, doing this type of deal, and there's, you know, you're not signing up for a new cable, you know, provider. It's a big deal, right? And it potentially changes your guys' life, and you know, there's some really high stakes considerations. Normally, you would travel and meet and, you know, look each other in the eyes and shake each other's hands and do all that. And so we had to do all that over, you know, video chat calls similar to this.
Right here.
So we've gotten very comfortable communicating and collaborating with each other in this way. So, but it would be nice to have you guys to the U.S. I'd love to cook for you guys, and I'd certainly love to visit the U.K. It's been a while.
the day the lockdown ends, we'll be there.
yeah,
Get that chili on the grill.
yeah. I only
Yeah.
still, so we can get quicker.
But the chili does freeze well, so maybe we freeze a brick of it, stick it in the FedEx one day. I think it might just be like ready to eat by the time it gets there.
Oh, yeah. Just leave it in the parking lot for an hour or two. You'll be good.
It'll stay frozen in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. Someone asked, does this mean 034 and Racingline collaboration builds and packages? Certainly possible. It's nothing that we've specifically discussed yet, but I think that's what's so exciting about this is it's up to us to do whatever exciting thing that we can think of.
Yeah, I think, you're absolutely right. We haven't really sat down and thought about that yet, but those are the sort of things that would be very, very cool to do, wouldn't it?
Really fun project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question is, will we see more Audi products coming to the Racingline portfolio?
Well, I don't know if you can see behind us, we can see the RS5, one of our development cars. So we've already been growing our Audi offering. And yeah, we're working on a core selection of products to do that for sure. And then certainly not like some of the 034, real specialist motorsport components that you make, but we are working on the core things that we get for an MQB Golf for the Audi platforms.
So yeah, that's a big objective for us to try and stretch into the B9 platform. And then even above that onto the A7s, S7s, RS6s. Harder to improve a car like that as always, but it's things we're going to be looking at.
I remember when you guys released your B9 strut brace, where we're like, son of a bitch, they're getting into Audi. But now we're happy to help you guys get into Audi and share any resources that we have to help. So yeah, I think you guys are very well poised to get into Audi, especially with anything that we can do to help. And certainly on the Volkswagen side, you guys have a lot to offer us as well.
Yeah, well, that's mutual, isn't it? Lot we can all learn.
Yeah, this is a good question. Someone says, autonomy is great, but how do you plan to leverage each other's resources? A very, a smart question. But we met for like 20 hours over video chat like this, discussing just this topic.
Yeah.
And there's supplier vendors that we can share. In some cases, we have really good either quality or pricing from vendors that we use that we can share, vice versa. Things like freight and shipping costs can be shared, especially if we begin. Well, Racingline has an extensive distribution in the U.S. already, and so we can centralize that here in the U.S. and share some costs. Certainly, like we've discussed on the engineering and tuning side.
Yeah, there's a bunch of engineering resources we can certainly share. I mean, you only need to scan a car once, and we both get the benefit from that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
Mechanical side, and then software development, they're the same.
Yeah,
essentially the same across.
We mentioned already, but the Mark 8 GTI, that's going to be a really good illustration, I think, of how we can get that probably over a year ahead of when it comes to the US. So between us, both companies can really get ahead of that the moment it lands in the US. We're all in a very, very good place to get a lot of really good products out that by that point we'll have had some good development, good testing. Who knows, might even try and ship the car out to 034 so you guys can have a bit of a go with it before launch.
Yeah, you guys just stick that in a container once you're done with it and ship it over here.
It's a left-hand drive on the first one. We're getting on purpose a left-hand drive car and a right-hand drive car, so that where we have the things like the downpipes where they don't always fit, or where you've got the brake booster or the master cylinder,
right?
It gives us that double overlap of development. So we're heading to Europe to collect the Mark 8, and then we've got a UK car coming later on.
Yeah, in fact, someone's asking, how will this impact right-hand drive owners in terms of parts? For example, right-hand drive frame brace for BS4s. It could certainly help. I think our challenge has been to find the right-hand drive parts that people actually want.
Yeah, cool.
The UK market especially is quite a bit different than the US market. And what we've seen sell here well did not necessarily sell well in right-hand drive applications.
Yeah, regardless of whether we offer it or not.
Yeah, so we did do a B8.5 X brace for the right-hand drive, and it was pretty much a bust. I think we made about 20 of them, and it took us almost 2 years to sell those, and we ended up discounting them heavily to just get them out of stock. But there's lots of times where we really need access to right-hand drive, and we've tried to use some of our distributors in the UK to access that. And if there are products that the market demands, we can certainly work together to do that, and we're in a better position to do that now than we ever have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Any help we can give in terms of sourcing cars over here that makes exactly this sort of partnership work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a-
Well,
it's
and the
an
flip,
interesting lesson we've learned really about the difference in the market for you guys to see the 3-litre supercharged engine in the V8. The numbers you guys do on that car astonishes us. It's a rare car over here. They're certainly out there and a lot of enthusiast owners, but it's nothing like your market in the States.
No.
yeah, they are thick here.
Yeah, they're very different markets, and then you guys have all those like tiny little engines that we don't have here.
Yeah, almost. Most of the Audis are diesel here, so we're getting a lot of those, and we have some very small cars, the Up GTI or the Polo. When I sent you that picture the other day, Javad, you thought you could put it in the trunk of your truck.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I mean, in the U.S., a Mark 7 GTI is a compact car.
Yeah.
Compared to the
A medium-sized car.
It is. Yeah.
yeah, people here are driving lorries around, to pick up their kids from school. It's ridiculous. Someone is asking, I gather tuning resources will be shared and some possible collaboration on European vehicles. So we've actually already been collaborating well before this.
Yeah, we've I've been fortunate to work with Racingline's development guys over there already. We have been for months now. So just because it was such a good fit, regardless, even if this whole thing fell apart, we still felt we could help each other. Because as we spoke, there was so little overlap. We found it's only a win-win for both of us. Yeah, no, we're certainly moving ahead with more and more tuning resources. And,
I think it's important to explain as well, isn't it, that an awful lot of the work that us guys do is those sort of initial scans of the cars. I think our teams will still absolutely go and make our own flavour of
absolutely.
034 has got its ways of doing things and its end results. We've got our own, and we differ slightly, and there'll be different customers that prefer.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of what the customer often doesn't see behind the scenes. That's the real.
Yeah, there's so much foundation you have to build up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very good
question.
But we're excited to be able to offer our tunes and vice versa. And we both have good catalogs of tunes, and there's definitely some cross-pollination that we can benefit from. How will this partnership change the roadmap for upcoming 034 parts? I can say at this point, it hasn't. I wouldn't say it's changing our roadmap. There are a couple products that we're discussing repurposing for 034 use and making them 034. And I think you guys will be seeing the results of those efforts. So I wouldn't say the roadmap is different, although maybe one or two stops along the way may vary. We may make a detour here or there, but the final destination's the same. And I think, who knows, maybe 2-3 years from now, anything's possible. But I think for us there are a couple new products, but our roadmap is, we're planning 1 to 2 years out into the future. Our product roadmap. So we've been talking to Racingline for about a year, but really seriously for 6 months. So we're still, even if we had some major product initiatives that we wanted to take on, those would still be 6-12 months out into the future. So, and it's the same for you guys, right?
Yeah.
There's a few things that you guys will do.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that we've all agreed right from the start, is we've each got our own company with our own style, with our own direction, with our own market. So we will keep on carrying on in parallel. We'll help where we can, but it's not going to change either of our directions or philosophies.
Yeah. Sorry, the questions are coming in. Thank you, Sam. As someone is asking, will your crackle tunes have a British accent? I don't know. I don't even know how that works.
No.
Can you make them sound more elegant? Because they're very brash currently. Yeah.
I'll go for the posh crackle.
Yeah, it'll be posh and cracks.
Yeah, cracks and
Posh and bangs. Will 034 customer support be trained on British accents for more high-class phone calls?
Oh, super.
That's a really good idea. That's not something we'd considered.
It really does help, I think, the support experience on the other end. Not that we answer phone calls anymore.
We don't even have phones right now.
Slight technicality.
We can integrate more language about spanners and things like that.
Yeah.
That's our emails.
Yeah.
But we might have to tap into some, honestly, all of our current, we should redo. This never even came up in the strategic planning, but we could redo all of our phone, our
Your
what's
automated
the
answering.
our voicemail
the prompts.
prompts.
Yeah.
We should have one of your like event staff
Yeah.
redo them for us and the much more elegant. You know, the other thing I think in America, everyone just thinks there's a British accent, but that's not actually true, right? There's so many.
Yeah.
You guys are well aware, just like in the U.S., we have all these different dialects.
Oh.
You guys are well aware of all these different British accents in the UK.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we try to.
Some are looked on more favorably than others, right?
Yeah, naturally. We won't say no
Just as
more.
they are here.
Yes, somehow we'll end up getting into a fight with somebody on that.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, no, I appreciate how political you're being right now. So that's.
Move on.
Someone's asking, is it aluminum or aluminium?
Very simple. It's aluminium.
Yes.
That's right. It's aluminum.
It definitely sounds better.
Question.
And let's see. Some of these are kind of repeat questions. Does this mean that Racingline, this is how the question's phrased, will finally have better customer service in the States? It's certainly a challenge of, I'm sure UK people would say the same about 034 Motorsport.
A lot of it's the time.
We're doing our best. So there are ideas that we've discussed to give US customers more access to customer service. Given our the time frame and the hour, like while you guys are sleeping, we could be helping someone in the US. So that's definitely something we're discussing.
It's the same, vice versa as well.
Absolutely, yeah, because we miss so much of Europe.
Where you've got a time zone and then also you've got a stocking issue, because sometimes customer service could be fine, but if the product's got to make its way from the UK, it's, they're the things that could be more difficult. And the same for you guys, that if somebody's waiting for something very small, having sort of local-based stock will help with some of these problems.
And also, it's worth saying, if anyone's had any specific problems, please just direct mail us or send a message on one of the social.
Yeah, I think it was more just
we do our very, very best to satisfy everybody. So if there is a specific question behind that one, please do get in touch. We'll resolve it. Well,
I can say, in a deal like this, the due diligence is extensive, and certainly, our due diligence of the market showed very good reputation for Racingline customer service and quality and brand and reputation. So obviously not a widespread problem, but it's certainly something we can help just based on the time.
I think a lot of it just comes down to logistics, like you said. It's just your 8 hours, or more.
It's vitally important to us. And I know that's a bit of a cliche from every company, but we live or die by this. So if anyone has any problems, please just get in touch directly with us, and myself or Matt will deal with these things. It matters that much to us.
Very good. We should discuss one of the big benefits to both companies is increased capital for more inventory and stocking. So when you're a small privately owned company, I know this was the case for me for a long time. I had virtually all of my financial wealth sitting on the shelves out there in the warehouse, which is right over there. If you want to be able to sell and support a certain amount of revenue, you need a certain amount of product on the shelf. And so, this can literally extend into the millions of dollars of your own money you've put on the shelf for inventory, which is the cost of doing business, and that's fine. But what it means is you don't always have enough capital to put into the inventory as you'd like. And certainly as your sales are growing, you need to be ramping that inventory up, a certain amount or aggressively, and you need access to capital. So this was a severe pain point that 034 Motorsport had in the past. And I think every small business, privately held business in this industry, or certainly in any kind of industry where you have inventory and you're not offering a professional service, is a real big challenge. And so I think that's something that customers and dealers can look forward to with both companies, is better stocking position thanks to access to capital.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Javad. It certainly felt twofold for us. We've got to have the inventory here, but also it's the cost of bringing on new products for us, which I'm sure you guys have had the same. We bought a new brake line, our Stage 3 6-pot calipers this time last year, And, you know, just to pay for the tooling, pay for the initial costs of having 100 kits on our shelf is just a real push for a small privately owned company. We have 40 to 50 products sitting developed, ready to go, in most cases prototyped, and it's just always a struggle being able to find the funding to do that. So that's what's so exciting for us. We are starting today to order inventory and to commission the new product lines that we want. So we won't go right now, but watch this space.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually one of the parts of the deal was you guys brought forward 50 new products that were ready to release that needed funding. And so part of the deal was to fund those new products, which now that it's closed, you guys are starting to issue those POs and bring that product on. So
a lot to
customers could expect to see in 3 to 6 months. So very, very exciting. Huge, probably one of the biggest benefits initially, early, for all of us and for customers is this new surge of products.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting time.
Yeah. Wanted to thank you guys. I know it's late over there, so it's very early for us here. So we appreciate you guys spending some time with us at the end of the day.
Absolute pleasure.
And especially probably being bombarded by everyone in the industry and all your customers. Yeah. So I think, there's some more questions, but they're kind of similar. So someone's asking, do the warehouse carts operate left-hand or right-hand drive over in your warehouse?
In the middle. So it must be
middle. There you go.
Left and right hand. So yeah.
Middle's the best. I agree. Yeah. Since it's a one-seater, it's kind of like a McLaren.
That's it. Yeah.
F1,
Right.
That's what they
right down the middle. Right.
Yeah. All the truck.
Well, cool. Any final thoughts before we let you guys go and you can get to your evening?
We're so excited to be working with you guys, and I think the sort of senior exec management team is one great thing. Then we've got all the engineering teams that sit around that and below it. That it's just such a good synergy and partnership that we really just can't wait to get working, really.
Very, very much agreed.
And I think we'd just like to extend our thanks to everyone at MP, Euro Motor Parts Group, and of course to 034 for kind of sharing our vision and putting their faith in us to do this deal. We're absolutely thrilled. Can't wait to get going.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Very excited for the future. I want to have a bottle of champagne or something, but it's not as exciting over video.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
All right. Have a great evening, and looking forward to working with you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers. And thanks, everyone, for the great questions. I thought those were some good questions.
Yeah.